Bitcoin is skyrocketing. Investors are losing their minds as prices surge. But is this the start of the next big bull run, or just another trap? Over the past few days, Bitcoin has shot up past key resistance levels, sending shockwaves across the crypto market. But why now? Why is everyone suddenly so bullish on Bitcoin? Before we dive in, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. We bring you the latest crypto insights every week, so don't miss out on breaking news and expert analysis. And hey, let me ask you something. Where do you think Bitcoin is headed? Are we about to see a new all-time high, or is this just another fake out? Drop your prediction in the comments. Now let's get straight to it. Bitcoin's sudden price surge is grabbing headlines, and one key factor is fueling this rally: the Federal Reserve. Investors are betting that the Fed will cut interest rates soon, making Bitcoin a more attractive investment. But why do rate cuts matter so much for Bitcoin? And more importantly, is this a sign that we're about to see a massive bull run, or should you be cautious? Why is Bitcoin pumping right now? Let's take a step back. Over the past year, Bitcoin has seen multiple price fluctuations, but this latest surge seems to be different, and the reason is clear. The Federal Reserve is signaling a shift in monetary policy. For those who might not know, the Federal Reserve, or the Fed, is the central banking system of the United States. It has a huge influence on global financial markets, including cryptocurrencies. When the Fed raises interest rates, borrowing money becomes more expensive, which typically slows down investments in riskier assets, like Bitcoin. But when they cut rates, the opposite happens. Money becomes cheaper, liquidity increases, and investors start looking for higher returns. And that's exactly what's happening right now. The market is anticipating that the Fed will lower interest rates in the coming months, and this has triggered a wave of buying activity in Bitcoin. Historically, whenever central banks have adopted looser monetary policies, Bitcoin and other digital assets have surged in value. The relationship between interest rates and Bitcoin. To really understand why this matters, let's break it down. Imagine you're an investor with millions of dollars. When interest rates are high, you might prefer to put your money in safe investments like bonds or high-yield savings accounts. But when interest rates drop, those options become less attractive. Suddenly you start looking for alternative assets that can provide higher returns. That's where Bitcoin comes in. Bitcoin has often been called digital gold because, like gold, it's seen as a hedge against inflation and economic uncertainty. When traditional financial markets become unstable, or when central banks devalue currencies by printing more money, Bitcoin tends to benefit. That's exactly what we're seeing now. As the expectation of lower interest rates grows, more institutional investors are turning their attention to Bitcoin. And let's not forget the retail investors, people like you and me, who don't want to miss out on what could be another historic rally. Are we at the start of a new bull run? This is the big question on everyone's mind. Are we really heading into the next bull market, or is this just another temporary pump? If we look at past market cycles, we see a pattern. Bitcoin tends to go through phases of accumulation, breakout, euphoria, and correction. Right now, many analysts believe we're in the breakout phase, meaning that Bitcoin could continue its upward trajectory in the coming months. However, it's important to be cautious. We've seen situations like this before where Bitcoin surged on speculation, only to crash shortly after. One key factor to watch is whether Bitcoin can hold above major resistance levels. If Bitcoin breaks $50,000, we could see a sustained rally. But if it struggles to maintain its momentum and drops below $45,000, we might see a correction before any real breakout happens. So, let me ask you, are you bullish or bearish on Bitcoin right now? Drop a comment below, and let's see what the community thinks. The risks of FOMO and market manipulation. Whenever Bitcoin starts pumping, there's one thing that always happens: FOMO, fear of missing out. People start seeing the green candles. They hear stories of others making huge profits, and they rush to buy without thinking. And that's exactly when the big players, whales and institutions, take advantage. Whales are large Bitcoin holders who can manipulate the market by making massive buy or sell orders. They often push the price up to trigger FOMO buying from retail investors, only to dump their holdings at the peak, causing a sharp crash. This has happened time and time again. That's why, if you're thinking of jumping into Bitcoin right now, you need to have a solid strategy. Don't just buy because everyone else is buying. Set stop losses to protect yourself from sudden drops. Never invest more than you can afford to lose, and most importantly, stay informed. Smart strategies for navigating this market. So, what should you do right now if you're interested in Bitcoin but don't want to get caught in a trap? Here are some key strategies. 1. Don't FOMO in. If you're buying Bitcoin, do it strategically. Look for good entry points rather than chasing a price pump. 2. Set stop-loss orders. Protect your investment from sudden drops by setting a stop-loss order at a safe level. 3. Diversify your portfolio. Don't go all in on Bitcoin. Consider spreading your investments across multiple assets, including altcoins and even traditional stocks. 4. Follow the news closely. The crypto market moves fast. Stay up to date with what's happening, especially regarding Federal Reserve policies, institutional investments, and major regulatory changes. 5. Think long-term. If you believe in Bitcoin's future, don't get caught up in short-term price swings. Many investors who held Bitcoin for multiple years have seen massive returns. What's next for Bitcoin? The next few weeks will be critical for Bitcoin. If the Fed confirms upcoming rate cuts, we could see even more momentum in the crypto market. On the other hand, if inflation data comes in hotter than expected, or if the Fed signals that they'll keep rates higher for longer, Bitcoin could face some downward pressure. That's why it's so important to stay informed and have a plan. Whether you're a trader looking to capitalize on short-term movements or a long-term investor who believes in Bitcoin's future, knowledge is your best asset. So, what do you think? Will Bitcoin break past $50,000 and start a new bull run, or are we heading for a correction? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, smash that like button and subscribe for more crypto updates. We'll be tracking this Bitcoin rally closely, so stay tuned. One thing's for sure, this is just the beginning of another wild ride in the crypto world.